Are Activision already under Xbox's influence? That's something a lot of people will have thought about this story, but it's actually not the case.
Not at all.
Ain't true. No. So, Activision are finally delaying Call of Duty. They are skipping a year. This is something they have not done.
Since 2005.
Yeah, so this is fairly massive. Yeah, 2023's Call of Duty has been shifted to 2024. And as you said, first time they've missed a year since 2005. And people would have thought, oh wow, Microsoft are doing this just like they did for Halo. No, it's not that at all. The deal hasn't even closed yet. This is because they've basically been forced to learn because Vanguard has not been a success for them, right? So here's via Bloomberg. The company is pushing off the release after a recent entry in the series failed to meet expectations, leading some executives to believe that they're introducing new versions too rapidly. You maybe think, oh great, they've learned some lessons. Maybe not, maybe not. So first, they are actually working on other things to fill the gap next year. A Call of Duty game set to come out this fall will receive a steady stream of additional content, and there's going to be a new free-to-play online title next year. So what the hell does that mean? Because we've got Warzone.
Yeah.
It's not like they're going to do a Warzone 2. So what is, or are they?
Actually, they... Not a Warzone 2 literally, but they actually did, and this kind of went a little bit quietly as far as everyone is concerned because it wasn't a big announcement, but they actually did hard confirm a Warzone 2 of sorts, based on this year's Call of Duty, which is a sequel to Modern Warfare. All stuff that they posted an update to, and people just sort of, outside of Call of Duty, people seem to not really pay any attention.
Interesting. Is that mostly concerned with like engine consolidation so that they can get around the weird quirks they've had with Warzone?
That generally seems to be the path forward. Is the new Call of Duty this year is a sequel to Modern Warfare 2019, and it and a new Warzone experience are being designed together from the ground up. So they are basically replacing Warzone. They'll likely keep everything that's there largely intact, so it's not a massive shock. The way we always talk about, like, well, World of Warcraft can never be World of Warcraft 2 because there's years of people's engagement there in accounts. They'll likely keep that. But, Warzone, a massive refresh to Warzone as opposed to a new Warzone based on the new engine is on its way.
And then in addition to that, there is a new free-to-play title that Treyarch are helping develop.
Yes.
And that's interesting. I have no idea what that could be because, I mean... You can't do like an arena shooter, arcade arena shooter, whatever, because that's Call of Duty multiplayer, and that's going to be part of the box product. You can't do campaign because you can't monetize that. Maybe some sort of free-to-play zombies-like experience, trying to keep that going on.
Yep, that's what all the rumbling is that Treyarch are going to be working on a full standalone zombies as free-to-play. Because that's a bit that's been working really, really well for them, but they haven't been able to bundle it into every single game, and having it in as part of games has been like a problem for it sometimes. So they are seemingly, according to a couple different sort of not big hyper-confirmed sources, but generally people in the know are like, yeah, it's a free-to-play zombies game. That's what's going to fill the gap. So I think it's interesting that they're not actually going, we will delay Call of Duty. We'll have a year free of Call of Duty so everyone can have a big break and not think about it because they would just kill their own momentum that way. So we'll maybe do a different thing this time. So it's interesting because I looked at the fact that the way this article was written said, Treyarch will also help with the free-to-play title. And I read that initially as, oh hey, they're actually doing the redistributing all of the resources instead of giving a game more time.
Yeah.
But apparently Treyarch is actually big enough.
It is.
For them to be developing the 2023 Call of Duty at full bore, as well as also developing a standalone title, which is kind of hard to get from this, but yeah.
Well, that would make a hell of a lot of sense if it was zombies.
Yeah.
Because they have the zombies people who do zombies. Presumably they're not always also doing the campaign and the multiplayer.
Yeah.
So that would make a decent amount of sense to me. Overall then, it's a pretty huge situation. Actually, it's massive enough because they're going to be giving away a lot of boxed revenue.
Tons.
That's a lot of revenue. But ultimately, they seem to have realized that just continual Call of Duties is a bad move. And if we think about the Call of Duties, so 2019 was a game that had enough time in the oven. I think the campaign really started strong, then massively petered out with one good mission at the end. That had the multiplayer that I think was very casually popular, but made the pros very angry. But overall, it was a big commercial success. And then you look at Black Ops Cold War. Like, they had to cobble together that single-player campaign in no time, from what I understand. So that was a messy situation. Also, not on the up-to-date engine, which is why they actually had a game come out after the 2019 game that felt older. So that's bizarre. So that's that. And then we had all of the rumors about Vanguard having an extremely scuffed development pipeline. And if you look back through Treyarch games, Black Ops 4, completely scuffed development. Black Ops 3, also kind of scuffed development.
Yeah.
Treyarch have continually had significantly more ambitious ideas than they've been given the time to pull off. So the hope maybe is that a 2024 game by them has actually what's going to have the time.
Yeah, it's going to be the Call of Duty that everyone expects is this incredible blockbuster, the thing you need to buy every year, as opposed to they'll buy it anyway kind of energy that they've been going for.
Yeah, now we've got some analysis from Matt Piscatella, who, like, he's the executive director or an executive director at NPD.
Yeah, it's
pretty big.
When it comes to retail sales and games, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, so saying it would be a huge blow to retail and the premium gaming segment as a whole. It would also accelerate the shift away from premium releases where consumers purchase upfront to games supported by DLC and MTX. Not sure the acceleration could be slowed afterwards. What happens to annual Call of Duty buyers that don't have a new premium version to buy one holiday and are instead further funneled into, Warzone? Their spend shifts from premium to recurrent, and continued shifts to recurrent doesn't mean all premium vanishes vanish. I'd imagine a major marketing effort to get folks into Warzone or mobile as the de facto call that holiday. So basically, it's like this goes away, what fills up the void? I think the question then is, are those people going to see, I have more money, I'm going to buy something from another company? Or are they going to put more money into Warzone? Then makes me think, okay, well, what do they do in terms of Warzone? And like bundles or just, anything they can do. Maybe a tie into this other 2023 Call of Duty experience. It's free to play. So
yeah,
there's a fair amount that could happen. There's also been some talk that they have had the remaster of the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 campaign just like good to go for ages.
It's Modern Warfare 3 or 2?
No, 2's already, that remaster's already out.
That's right.
Yeah, I own it from PS Plus.
Yeah.
No, it's 3 though that hasn't came out. So they could just throw that out if they want.
I mean, that's the thing you'd want to do there is you go, hey, here's there's no Warzone or there's no Call of Duty this year, but here's the Modern Warfare 3 remaster, and also a bunch of cosmetics in Warzone if you buy now. Also, this is the new Warzone that's been refreshed since last year. Please don't run away and play other competitive video games in this holiday season just because there's no Call of Duty. It's a thing where I feel like, this news is going to be taken by a couple of different people and or a couple of different companies and be like, oh shit, is this our in? Can we deal the killing blow to Call of Duty this year?
Should have delayed Battlefield.
Yeah.
2 years.
yeah. That's exactly a thing where, you're going to want to see, what's the thing that can capture all of the Call of Duty audience? Can we get people who are bored of Warzone or who don't really are like super aren't interested in zombies or want the premium blockbuster campaign version of it? Can we get that out in time? And I think that's one of the things where obviously you could look at Ubisoft or EA and look at any of the games they're going to try to shift. Obviously something like Assassin's Creed does generally well across that kind of audience reasonably, not as big. But I'm thinking, because we've been talking about them recently, Deviation Games, who are all the ex-Treyarch people who are working with PlayStation, the timeline might not be there for them to have a good release in 2023.
That would be majorly ambitious. I
can't remember when they started. It was a year, maybe 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago.
Okay. Well, it was 2 or 3 years ago that they started.
I think so, anyway.
Maybe because, ultimately Sony knows that Call of Duty could be pulled out from under them maybe in the next console cycle or something like that. So they know that they have, because for multiplats, it was always PlayStation that's been king in recent times.
Okay, so they entered full production. They are entering full production this year.
Doubt it.
Yep, which means
Sony
they're
are probably
going to
kicking themselves now that they've learned this.
Yep, absolutely. That's the thing where Activision have the ability to announce this and no one has the time to actually react, which is just goes to show how actually strongly positioned they generally are with Call of Duty.
No, absolutely. So it's an interesting situation. And
Certainly
then
is.
we have to think about, well, have some lessons been learned? So the worry is that they think purely that they were cannibalizing product and that the actual product that was fine. I think a lot of COD players would look at Vanguard and maybe disagree. Just some things are like issues with the game. Also, with COD, they have struggled with the identity of the series.
Yeah.
Like Black Ops Cold War being more liked by the competitive players than Modern Warfare, but Modern Warfare being, casually super, super popular. And I would say I think I prefer Modern Warfare myself personally. So it'll be interesting. That said, there has been, a decent amount of change across sort of Activision Blizzard group.
Yeah, especially like not in major ways that we've felt yet, but in ways that seem to me like I generally think their attitude internally has changed. There's a lot of tight reins on community managers and developers like speaking, and I think a lot of those have been like, maybe these developers know what they're talking about, from the executive's point of view. Maybe we should let them speak to people and figure out what's going on, or have some initiative actually work for them.
So essentially, communications in Call of Duty land have went way up.
Oh, massive improvement.
Now, they've needed to because of Vanguard problems. They have had loads of issues. CDL has had loads of issues, but their communications have got better, so that is a good thing. Over in Overwatch land, well, they brought a whole bunch of community people over under NDA, and they were saying positive things. But, so positive they were just accused of being shills. So we'll have to see how that actually goes. And then for World of Warcraft, there are still baffling design decisions in the most recent patch.
Yeah.
And I look at some of the interviews with, Ian and stuff, and it's like, Ian, how are you saying you're reacting to things? I played WoW during Wrath of the Lich King whenever the shoulder enchants and, Sons of Hodir were made bind on account instead of bind on character. You forgot that lesson, Ian. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was there 2008, 2009 when this change was made. Why are we still having the same discussion all these years later? But so as much as I'm going to be very salty and I am going to try to get them with the details because I think it's important to World of Warcraft actually being a viable game in the future, that they actually get these things right. But their level of communication has went way up. It's generally been a lot more positive in the most recent PTR with the Community Council. And as much as the Community Council has had a few dramas and has been laughed at, after the holidays, they ramped up their communications. They definitely did.
Yeah, it's been the thing about the general unmuzzling of staff has been really interesting because I know some of it's newer staff members, but I have seen Blizzard employees say a lot more about the game on Twitter than they used to. And a lot more of it. It feels like they're gingerly putting their toes in the water to test the temperature, but it's very much we believe there was a general gag order on Twitter on employees from, not the gag order quite specifically,
there was.
but
Oh, no, I could.
Literally.
Oh, I know there was. I know the names of specific developers who got in trouble for having basically little flame wars in people's DMs whenever they got offended that people didn't like their designs.
Yeah.
Some genuinely pathetic shit going on over there.
Nice.
That was done at a point. Because basically, honestly, some of them were just being such embarrassing man-children that the company needed a policy to protect itself from people just being unprofessional and, a bit stupid on Twitter, which is very unfortunate because, what was the cost of a few people not being able to deal with criticism? It was discourse. And ultimately that led to the times where WoW needed community discourse the most, which has been Legion, BFA, and Shadowlands. It's only now that we've got it, and it has cost them probably millions of players and many more millions of dollars. Having their heads stuck in the sand about these things. Yep,
but now their fear has been, I don't know if their fear's been dispelled, but they've definitely had the courage to remove that gag order because people are now talking about it and putting themselves out there a little bit.
Well, it could also be the fear of losing WoW, the cash cow.
Also,
which, frankly, they should be scared of.
Yep.
The MMO market has has been competitive in the past. This is an extremely competitive period in that market, and it's competitive right when World of Warcraft is at some of its weakest. So, basically, turns out, stuff going to shit can force companies to learn lessons. And I suppose that's the cycle, Yep. They learn their lessons, it all gets really good again, and they get too big for their boots, and it goes down again. And the cycle repeats forever.
Yep, I think that's why a substantial subsection of us people who've been enjoying games for a long time some people have been afraid of 1980-esque video game crash, but quite a few people, me included in a way, have just been secretly hoping it all goes to shit. Just secretly hoping for just the whole thing to burn down and maybe all of the worst stuff that happens at the AAA level, the top level, gets solved. That's why I personally celebrate every substantial failure that happens.
Oh yeah, whenever Anthem went to shit internally, I was just like, I feel bad for these developers, but thank fuck that live service failed. Maybe it'll teach them that BioWare should be making BioWare games.
Yeah.
Whenever Shadowlands had all of its issues, like, I will admit, I know it was like this for me, it was like this for Mike, Preach, we're just like, fucking told you so! We were providing you advice for free to save you millions of dollars and earn you millions more!
Yeah, I mean, what's...
And yeah, it feels good. Look, if FIFA fucking crashed and burnt and, EA got sued and it was just declared gambling, I'd be like... Great. And I know that, say Yuki and all of the, the Game Developer Association were like, oh, this is a terrible, terrible assault on the business freedoms of game developers. I'd be sitting there thinking, oh, thank God that thing has burnt down. Great. From that, the ashes will fucking nourish the soil for new growth. Let's go. Which is actually what it's been like as these AAA companies have shown their cracks over the last few years. We have so many startups, and it's going to take maybe 3, 4, 5 years till we actually see games that come from that. But it at least bodes well for the end of this console gen / start of the next one. It's pretty cool.
Absolutely. I mean, a couple of little things aside, even seeing how Sony are treating AAA devs has been exceptional. I'm really looking forward to Forbidden West and Ragnarok, just because I know they will not do anything as risky as The Last of Us 2 in terms of being really out there, and they won't work they won't work staff into dust like Naughty Dog have. I think they'll just go, nope, we'll take it slow, we'll steady, and we'll win the race.
Yeah, I think that's the way to do it. So there you go. That's what's going on in the industry. Wow. There you go. No more yearly Call of Duty, and I think that's a good thing for now. Hopefully they can get back on their feet and start delivering games that the fans of that franchise actually want. Yeah, it's just very easy to be like, oh, they buy the blockbuster game that everybody... No, we want them to have a good time. We want them to have good games, and hopefully this makes that happen.
Yeah, change is a bitter pill to swallow, but Activision seem to have opened wide.
Yeah, so we'll just have to see how it goes, but that's it for us. So we'll see you next time.